Time to rank the AFC East front seven. Yeah, we're doing the front seven. What is up, AFC East? Yes, we are going to be ranking the front seven. Now, I was reading a ton of your comments on the last ranking video, and a lot of you guys were saying, hey, Doug, since, like you said, the Dolphins run a 3-4, some of the guys are running 4-3s, all that stuff, you should do the front seven of the team, because in 3-4s, the outside linebackers considered pass rushers, and in 4-3, two defensive tackles. You know what I'm saying. So in this video, we're going to be ranking the AFC East front seven. So we're going to be looking at sacks. We're going to be looking at run stopping. We're going to be looking at a ton of different things. And what I'm going to be doing is giving you all these stats. I'm going to be giving you additions that the team has made that have been kind of important additions to make the team better. And then we give you leaders, sack leaders on each team, tackle leaders on each team going into last year. Coming from last year, and then I'll give you my reasoning on why. But without further ado, without talking too much, because I always talk too much in the beginning of my videos and some people hate it, let's jump into this, Mamma Jamma. And we're going to start at 4-1, and the number 4 front seven in the AFC East, in my opinion, is the New York Jets. Now, New York Jets last year ranked 25th in sacks with 33. Ranked 27th in pressure with 21.4% of the time pressure. Ranked 27th in hurries on their quarterback, 8.5% of the time. Then when it comes to the rushing, they are 29th ranked in yards with 2,351 yards. Dead last in touchdowns given up, rushing touchdowns in 28th. And yards per attempt, they were 22nd ranked with 4.5. Now, the only big addition that I thought, or the only, pivotal addition that I thought was Jermaine Johnson, their first round pick that they traded back in to grab. A great addition for him. Now, for me, actually, let me get to their leaders. Sack leaders, Quinnen Williams, 6 sacks, tied with John Franklin Myers, 6 sacks there. Right behind them in the third ranked, 3 sacks, Sheldon Rankins. Tackle leader, C.J. Mosley, 168 tackles. Quincy Williams, 110 tackles. QB hits, John Franklin Myers, 14. Quinnen Williams with 12. And tackles for loss, Quincy Williams with 9. Quinnen Williams with 7. Now, I do think that the addition of Jermaine Johnson is going to help this front seven out a lot. And also the second year being in that defense is going to help them out a lot. But when you look at what the other teams have done when it comes to adding players and when it comes to what they did last year, you'll see why I have New York Jets as 4th. The number 3 team in the AFC East when it comes to their front seven is the New England Patriots. Now, this one's going to be interesting. And again, when I get to 2-1, you'll see why. Sacks, they were ranked 19th with 36. Pressure, ranked 11th with 25.6% of the time they have pressure on their on the opposing quarterback. Hurries, ranked 5th, 12.5% on there. And when it comes to their rush defense, 2,103 rushing yards, ranked 23rd in the NFL, but only have given up 9 touchdowns, which is ranked 1st in the NFL, and yards per attempt, 4.5, which was ranked 25th. Their leaders, when it came to sacks, Matt Judon, complete beast, had a fantastic year last year with 12.5 sacks. Behind him, Kyle Van Noy, 5 sacks, not with the team anymore. We'll see if he goes back there, but we'll see. Leading tacklers is Bentley with 109. Behind him is, I'm trying to find somebody that's not a defensive back, being that we're talking about front seven, was Kyle Van Noy with 66. Quarterback hits, Judon, 25. Then Christian Barmore with 9. And tackle for loss, Matt Judon with 14. Kyle Van Noy and Bentley. And Kyle Duggar, who is a DB, tied with 5. Now, the only addition they really made that was of some interest was they traded Winovich to the Browns for Mac Wilson. Other than that, they didn't really make much moves to change that defense up that much there. So that's kind of why I have them ranked third, right? Their pass rush was good, only ranked 19th in sacks, but they got a ton of hurries on the opposing quarterbacks, limited the amount of touchdowns, but gave up a ton of rushing yards. That's kind of why I had them ranked third. Now, my second and first teams, obviously it's either Bills, Dolphins or Dolphins, Bills. Depends on how I say it. But this was incredibly difficult. I say that about all these rankings, but you have no idea how hard it is. I honestly think that this is going to be, this race is getting closer and closer for this title. But it was very hard. That's what she said. And I'll tell you why and where the outliner and where it tipped for one team to the other. Because I know some people are going to be upset, but my number 2 team, ranking their front 7, again, it has to do with the pass rush, has to do with the defensive end, defensive tackle, linebackers, all that stuff. My number 2 team, the Buffalo Bills. And I know people are going to say, you're so biased. I can't believe it. You honestly, and I'll get to why. I will get to why. And I'll tell you what made it the most difficult. The Bills were ranked 11th in the NFL last year with 42 sacks. First in the NFL with pressure on the opposing quarterback 30.8% of the time. First in the NFL with hurrying the opposing quarterback with 15.4% of the time. So they were good at getting pressure and hurrying the quarterback. They just weren't good at finishing the job, essentially. And when it came to their run defense, 1,866 yards, ranked 13th. Touchdowns, they gave up 19 rushing touchdowns, which was ranked 28th. And when it came to yards per attempt, 4.2, which was ranked 10th. They signed Shaq Lawson. They signed Von Miller. That is a big one, the Von Miller signing. And they take linebacker Terrell Bernard in the 3rd round. The signing of Von Miller made it very difficult. And that is where it made it difficult. Before I get into a spiel, though, let me give you the stats, the leaders. Now, Mario Addison led the team in sacks with 7 last year. Ed Oliver with 4, and Greg Russo tied with 4. Tackle leader was Tremaine Edmonds, and the linebacker, it's Jordan Poyer was 2nd, but again, I'm talking about front 7. Matt Milano, 86. QB hits was Ed Oliver at 14, Greg Russo with 10, and tackles for loss, Matt Milano with 15, and Ed Oliver with 10. Now, again, back to what I was saying, the addition of Von Miller is why I literally sat here and just was like, 1 and 2. Like, if I could do 1A, 1B, I would. Because the addition of Von Miller bringing a minimum, and again, I'm not saying he's going to, because we've seen him consistently have double-digit sacks, but a minimum of 9 sacks potentially to this team is what made it very difficult for me to choose a 1 and 2 with these teams. But obviously, my number 1 team with the front 7 in the AFC East is the Miami Dolphins. And yes, you might think I'm biased, being that this is a Dolphin channel, but I'll give you my reasonings. They were 5th in the NFL in sacks with 48. They were 3rd in the NFL with pressure on the opposing quarterback with 28.5. And they were 20th in the NFL with hurries with 10%. When it came to their rush defense, they had 1,867 yards, 14th ranked. Touchdowns, they only gave up 16, which was 18th ranked, and yards per attempt 4.4, which was 19th ranked. Give you the leaders of the Miami Dolphins. Sack leaders, Emmanuel Ogbah with 9, Jalen Phillips with 8.5, Jerome Baker with 5.5. Tackle leaders, Jerome Baker with 92, Christian Wilkins with 89, and Landon Roberts with 83. Quarterback hits, Emmanuel Ogbah 24, Andrew Van Ginkel 20, Jalen Phillips with 16, and tackles for loss. Christian Wilkins led the team with tackles for loss with 10, and there was a 4-way tie with 9 between Emmanuel Ogbah, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jalen Phillips, and Jerome Baker. My reasoning for putting the Dolphins 1 and eking them over the Buffalo Bills is the fact that Emmanuel Ogbah's back. Jalen Phillips, a rookie last year, had 8.5 sacks. Where you look at their rookie Russo, he only had 4 sacks. The addition of Evan Ingram Channing Tindall, their first pick in the 3rd round, is going to be incredibly dangerous with his speed. Yes, Melvin Ingram isn't the player he used to be, but he will still help in a drastic way. But my biggest reason is Phillips, Agba coming back, having 9 sacks, 8.5 sacks, whereas the Bills, their leaders, only had 7 and 4. Again, that's where the Von Miller, I was like, God, the addition of Von Miller, it's going to be hard. That's what she said. But it's also, this is their 3rd year, and well, 2nd year for Agba and Jalen Phillips, but this is the 3rd year that the defense has been together, so they have a little leg up. And those were the little things that made me put the Dolphins number 1. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I know for a fact Jet fans probably are not happy that I have them at 4th. Again, this is what I'm trying to predict the future, but I'm also going off of what happened last year. And then I look at the additions, and I'm trying. It's hard. This isn't easy to do. And I did this series because I thought it'd be fun, but I understand I'm going to rub some people the wrong way. But let me know. Comment below. Let me know what your, if you had Bills 1, Dolphins 2, I could totally see that. I don't see the Patriots having better front 7 than the Dolphins, in my personal opinion. But again, if you had Bills 1, Dolphins 2, I could definitely see that again. The addition of Von Miller made it incredibly difficult for me to pick a 1 and 2. I just thought that the consistency of having the same players on defense, then the little addition of Channing Tindall and Melvin Ingram, and then Jalen Phillips, a rookie, having 8.5 sacks, is what boosted me to make them number 1. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow and Friday are the last 2 days of OTAs, and then we are going to start talking Miami Dolphin training camp position battles. I have a whole series going on with that. Next is corners ranking, safety rankings, and I'm going to do special teams. So I'm going to lump in punter, kicker, and kick returner on special teams. It's going to be very interesting to rank that. But other than that, guys, like usual, stay classy and fins up.